Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello class, my name is Delsi Lipiyanti and my student's ID is 2121-22037 as the moderator for today's presentation. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Bu Neni Marlina for giving us the opportunity to present our work. The topic for today's presentation is English, slangs, and idioms. But before that, let me introduce the members of the group. So we are from group 1, and the members are Adinda, Zahrani, Kania, Ade Dimas, and Delsi Lipiyanti. And here's the materials outline. Next slide. So we're going to talk about what is slang and its examples, and then what is idiom and its examples, and what's the difference between slang and idiom, and where to learn slang and idiom. Well, let's get started with the presentation. The first material is the definition of slang and its examples that will be delivered by Adinda.
Okay, thank you to moderator. So I'm going to explain about slang. So what is slang? Slang is an informal language meant as to be spoken rather than written. So slang is more common in speech than in writing, and it normally refers to particular words and meanings, but can include longer expressions and idioms, and used especially by particular groups of people, like they are in the same social group or they are know each other well. So it can often people if it's used about other people or outside a group of people who know each other well, because again, slang is very informal language. And then the next one, I'm going to explain about the example. So these are some of the most common slang words used today. So the first one is lit. So you can use lit when someone is very good, enjoyable, or exciting. For example, the party last night was lit. So that's mean the party last night was enjoyable or exciting. And then salty when they get upset or angry over something minor. For example, Jeff is so salty when his parents took away his car. And then to flex is another way of saying someone is showing off. For example, like Dave's trying to flex with that new no-name smartphone of his. And then shook means they are shook or incredibly surprised. For example, like, oh my god, I'm shook. I need to watch it as soon as possible. And then tea means they are gossiping. For example, like, I should not spill the tea, but have you heard that? Or but have you heard about? So when you heard something or someone spill the tea or what's the tea, it means that they are gossiping. And then last but not least is crash. It means to fall asleep quickly. For example, like after all these hours of studying, I crashed. I think that's all from me. The next material will be delivered by Zahrani.
Alright, thank you. I'm Zahrani Rabiultsani, and here I will explain about idiom. So, what is idiom? An idiom is a widely used saying or expression containing a figurative meaning that differs from the phrase's literal meaning. The word idiom comes from the Greek word idioma, meaning particular phrasing. And then, how to use idioms? We can also use idioms to add humor. Idiomatic expression can help transform flat description with the help of a funny turn of phrase, and then engage the reader by inserting an idiomatic phrase into our writing. So you force the reader to shift from thinking literally to abstractly, and then evoke a specific region. The certain idioms can be unique to a particular group of people or word area, and then share a point of view. Idioms can express commonly shared or universal ideas, so there are often dozens of idioms that apply to the same concept. And then finally, simplify complex ideas. Often, idioms can help express a large or abstract an idea in a way that is concise and easy to understand. And the next slide, please. And here, example of idioms are, the first one is crying wolf, to ask for help when you don't need it. The sentence example is, you have cried wolf so many times that no one believes you now. And then, fair and square, being direct or fair. The sentence example is to tell you fair and square. I did everything that I was meant to do, but I still feel unfulfilled. And then, break a leg, saying good luck to someone. The sentence example is, hey Barry, it's time for you to get on the stage and present your monologue. Break a leg. And then, give it a whirl, to give something a try. The sentence example is, I am absolutely terrified of skydiving, but I think once in my life I will give it a whirl. And I think that's all from me. The next material will be delivered by Kania. Thank you.
Thank you. So this time I will explain about the difference between slangs and idioms. As we can see, slang is a word, phrase, and use that are regarded as very informal and are often restricted to special contexts or are peculiar in a specific profession, class, etc. And on the other hand, an idiom refers to a group of words established by usage and having a meaning not deducible from those of the individual word. And idiom are often used in literature and written English, but on the other hand, slang is often used in spoken language, but very less in written language. This is also an important difference between idiom and slang. And when we can find idiom and idiomatic expression in well-known and well-compiled lexicons in dictionaries. But on the other hand, you cannot find slang terms in dictionaries. They are often heard in spoken English. The next material will be delivered by Ade Dimas.
All right, thank you. Here I will explain about where to learn idioms and slangs. You can learn idioms and slang by direct contact, I think. The direct contact, that means you can have direct contact with people who speak English, or you can use the OMTP and talk directly to them on, and you can try practice with your friends. And the second is watching video or film. Watching video is also one way that you can apply by watching video or film. You can identify the idiom and slang. And the last is you can also learn using the website. There are several websites that you can use, such as Urban Dictionary and Online Slang Dictionary. I think that's enough. Back to moderator.
Okay, thank you. So here's the conclusion. Slang is informal spoken language that refers to particular words and meanings, but can include longer expression and idioms. An idiom is a widely used saying or expression containing a figurative meaning that differs from the phrase's literal meaning. And the difference between slang and idiom, well, slang is words, phrases that used in informal spoken language. There is no slang terms in dictionary. And then idiom, while idiom is a group of words having a meaning not deducible from those of the individual words used in written form and can be found in dictionaries. Well, that's it for today's presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.